Hello everybody, this is Mr. Rob and welcome back to another episode of the Seattle Mariners franchise here on MLB The Show 23. It's been a little bit since we've been with the Mariners, but they're entering the final month of the regular season with two road series today, starting off with the road series against the 61-78 Cincinnati Reds. If you're excited for this one, make sure you drop a like and you subscribe down below, especially if you want more franchise content, as the Mariners will look to clinch a playoff spot in this episode. Luis Cessa will be on the mound for the Cincinnati Reds. Dylan Moore will lead off for the Mariners, because remember, we are without Eugenio Suarez and Jared Walsh. Both of our two most powerful bats are on the injury list and will not return this season. Moore struck out to begin the game, and that'll bring J.P. Crawford up next, who singled up the middle. So he's on first base for Ty France, who continues his 8-game hitting streak by lining one into center field for a base hit, and the Mariners are off to a hot start here in the first. That'll bring up a Julio Rodriguez, who hits this one into left field, and that's going to get down, and the Mariners waste no time scoring the first run of the day thanks to an RBI double from Julio Rodriguez, and what was his 31st double of the season. So now two more on for Teoscar Hernandez, and he'll swing and miss on the big slider. So that's two down now. Brings up Colton Wong, who gets nice contact on a fastball, but hits it right at the center fielder, where it'll be caught. On the mound for the Mariners will be George Kirby, who hasn't had the best month of August. His ERA is up to now 3.43. He'll begin today against Elly De La Cruz, the rookie international free agent back in 2018 out of the Dominican Republic, and he'll strike out swinging. That'll bring up another rookie in Matt McLain, and he'll take one and rip it into right field, but it'll be right at Hernandez. And we'll take a look at this Reds roster. They're not very good this season. They are 61-78, but they have a lot of interesting young talent on this team, and I think they're set up pretty nicely for the future. They have Tyler Stevenson at catcher, followed by Jake Fraley at left, TJ Friedl the DH, Kevin Alcantara, the former Cub, at center field, Spencer Steer at first, followed by Noel V. Marte at short, and Kevin Newman at second base. Tyler Stevenson will strike out to end the first, and we'll go top second now, where Pollock will think he looks at ball four. We'll look at strike number 3. Cal Raleigh up next, and he'll hit this one into center field, and that's actually going to split the outfielders. The center fielder Alcantara was playing a little bit over to the right, and that gives Cal Raleigh a double. And that's his double-digit double of the season, his 10th of the year. So he's on second base now for Robinson Cano, and he continues to have an incredible season. Robinson Cano with a single up the middle, and Raleigh will score. An RBI single for Cano extends the Mariners' lead now 2-0. That'll bring up the top of the order again, Dylan Moore, who pops this one up in the infield. That'll be caught by Marte. Next up will be J.P. Crawford, and he'll draw a full count walk. So now 2 on for France, and he will draw a full count walk. So bases loaded, 2 outs for Julio Rodriguez. A big chance for the Seattle Mariners to really open this ball game up. 0-1 pitch to J-Rod. He grounds this one over to third, backhanded, and they'll go the short way to second. For the Mariners, they do get one, but they leave the bases loaded. We'll stay with Seattle here, top 5, where Cessa, after the first 2 innings, really started to settle in as he gets France here to pop up to begin the 5th. But his pitch count was actually getting pretty high, and he's actually yanked in the 5th inning. Starting pitcher Cessa goes 4 1/3, and that'll bring in Connor Overton for the Reds. And he would get through the next couple of batters before Hernandez will single into center field with 2 away. He's on first for Colton Wong, and he'll swing and miss on a fastball. So Overton comes in and ends the rest of the 5th inning. We'll go bottom 5 now, as the Reds haven't had any offense today. TJ Friedl will step in. He'll be first pitch swinging over to the right side of the infield. This one will be caught by Wong, and he'll throw it over to first. That'll bring up Kevin Alcantara, the number 28 ranked prospect in baseball, who was actually acquired in the Cubs trade back in July that sent Alexis Diaz to Chicago. He drew a walk, and then Spencer Steer gets plunked. Inside fastball, gets him. So that's 2 on now for Noel V. Marte, who hits this one into the right center gap. A big hit for the rookie, and Noel V. Marte has a tying 2 RBI double. Marte was actually a former member of the Mariners organization. He was traded since Cincinnati, and what gave us Luis Castillo. So a little bit of revenge there for Marte, who ties the ball game up. The next batter, Kevin Newman, will pop this one up into foul territory, and then Elly De La Cruz will strike out swinging, but we're tied up at 2 apiece. We'll go later into this one. Yency Almonte would come in relief for George Kirby, his 47th appearance of the season. He is tasked with the 7th inning, came in the 6th, but he's come now into the 7th, and he gets Alcantara to ground out to begin the first. Next up will be Spencer Steer. He'll strike out swinging the second out of the 7th. And then Noelvi Marte up next, who had the 2 RBI double earlier, will get another base hit. He singles into right, and he continues his good day. Kevin Newman up next, pitch in the dirt. Marte is actually going to try to take advantage, and he does. So a wild pitch puts another runner in scoring position for the Cincinnati Reds. Newman 2-2 pitch later in the at-bat will hit this one into left, and the runner is going to score. An RBI single for the former Pittsburgh Pirate, Kevin Newman, and the Cincinnati Reds have their first lead of the ball game. Back to the top of the lineup, Ellie De La Cruz gets a nice piece of this one out to right, but a little bit underneath it. But the Reds now up by 1 as we go into the top of the 8th now, where TJ Antone will come in relief for Cincinnati. Not been a good year for him, 7.42 ERA. It's a very interesting guy you want in the setup spot with that ERA. He begins the top of the 8th by getting Rodriguez to ground outs, it seems, in the infield. But we're going to take a second look at this one. Rodriguez called out. It was a bang-bang play at first, and on the replay, it looks like a complete tie. So the Mariners will challenge, and they'll actually get the call. So Rodriguez is safe on first, and he's going to try to swipe second, but a perfect throw gets him. Tyler Stevenson guns down Rodriguez, so he's out anyway. Hernandez will ground this one up the middle. A beautiful attempt by the second baseman Newman, but he's unable to get him. So Hernandez will now be on, and he'll look to steal second base as well. Wong will strike out, and Hernandez, though, will steal the bag. So a runner now in scoring position for A.J. Pollock, who looks at strike 3, can't pull the trigger on the slurve, and Antone gets through the 8th. We'll go to top 9 now, where Lucas Sims will look to shut the door on the Seattle Mariners, looking for his 14th save of the season. He is the starting closer that was named once Alexis Diaz was traded. We'll begin the top 9 with Cal Raleigh at the plate for Seattle, and he'll strike out on the fastball. Nice pitch on the outside by Sims to get the first one away. Cano up next, 1-for-3 day for him. He's going to chop this one over to second, and it'll be a 1-for-4 day as he's out at first. And the game relies in the hands of Dylan Moore. 1-2 pitch, swing and miss on a high fastball. That'll be the ball game. The Cincinnati Reds win by a final score of 3-2. Reds did a very good job at weathering the early storm from Seattle. And the Mariners, they just didn't do a good job when they got runners on base. We can point to the second inning where we left the bases loaded, but we had 2 runs on 10 hits, while the Reds only had 5. A lot more efficient offense for Cincinnati when it mattered. It got them the victory. Overton the win. Almonte got the loss, and Sims does get the save, and Overton actually also gets player of the game thanks to his help in the long relief category. Moving to game 2, we lose as well, 4-0 in this one. Hunter Green, a complete game shutout for Cincinnati. He struck out 9 batters, was dominant all day, but we do win game 3 by a final score of 10-3, so we don't get swept. Teoscar Hernandez had a 3-for-5 day with a homer and 2 RBIs, and that was enough to catapult the Mariners to a victory. So the second half of this episode, we will travel to Tampa Bay to face the Rays, who sit at 66-74 on the season, which doesn't sound like the best of records, but they're only 3.5 games back out of the wild card. The wild card race in the American League is very weak, and the Rays still have an outside shot. They'll have Shane McClanahan, the lefty all-star this season, on the mound to begin. Their ace, once again, was in the all-star game. He's got a very good season, 2.79 ERA. And he'll begin his day also against Dylan Moore, who has a career high now, 27 stolen bases. 1-2 pitch to Moore, and he'll swing and miss on the low circle change. Got him swinging for out number 1. Gonna bring up J.P. Crawford up next, 2-1 pitch to him, and he'll sky a fastball over to left center field as Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2 has 4 add-ons updated, yippee. But Crawford will fly out for the second out. We'll take a look at the Mariners lineup today. Going up against the lefties, so it's a little different. We'll still see France, Rodriguez, Hernandez, and Pollock, but Pollock is DHing today, and Sam Haggerty will be in left, Cal Raleigh, and then Cesar Hernandez getting the start at second base. So here comes Ty France now, 1-0 pitch to him, and he'll hit this one well into center field. But a nice play out there in center by Josh Lau in order to make a diving grab will rob him a base hit. Chris Flexen will be on the mound for the M's, 3.35 ERA for the number 5 starter. He's put together a very good season for Seattle. Randy Arozarena, the left fielder, will step into the batter's box. Very good season for him. And he'll begin the Rays' day by taking a full count pitch into left center. Rodriguez will come over and make the grab. Take a look at the Rays lineup today. We saw Rosarena followed by Josh Lau in center, Yandy Diaz at third, Brandon Lau at second base, the longtime Red Joey Votto at first base. We actually had some interest in trying to acquire Joey Votto, but it was the Rays who were able to get him this year. Julio Rodriguez is the DH, followed by Ben Gamble at right, Isaac Paredes at short, and Francisco Mejia behind the plate. Josh Lau had a great diving play in the first inning, will fly out into shallow left center for the second out. And then Yandy Diaz will ground this one over to third. Moore is there, and he'll get the all-star third baseman to end the first. We'll go bottom five now. Offense has not been existent in this ball game, but Ben Gamble will begin with a hard hit ball to left field, but that will be caught by Pollock. Isaac Paredes up next, the shortstop, who hit this one hard into right field, and this one will get down. Hernandez couldn't get to it in time, and that's going to be a one-out double for the Rays shortstop, sliding into second base, and the Tampa Bay has a runner in scoring position. That'll bring up the catcher Francisco Mejia, 0 for 1 on the day, and 269 on the season. He looks at strike three, fastball high and inside, gets him, so that's the second out of the inning. Rays will go back to the top of the lineup, where Rosarena will ground it right back to Flexen, and we're scoreless through 5. We'll go top 6 now, where McClanahan is dominating this game, but a pitch from Hernandez will end it. A moonshot to left field, no doubt about it. Teoscar Hernandez hits his 25th home run of the season, which is now a team high, now that Walsh and Suarez are hurt. And McClanahan, who had a very high pitch count going into the inning, I'm assuming was on a short leash, and now that Hernandez hit a home run, McClanahan will be pulled, and they'll bring in Luis Patino, a righty, out of the bullpen, 2.54 ERA through his 23 appearances. He'll begin against A.J. Pollock, who will swing and miss at a fastball that is about eye level. It's a bad swing by Pollock. That'll bring up Sam Haggerty, who's the left fielder today, and Haggerty has a very interesting spot. He's hitting 252 on the season, 264 on the road, and well, we're still trying to decide, is he going to be the left fielder of the future? So a little bit of a chance for him down the stretch, and he will fly out to center field for the second out. And I'll bring up Cal Raleigh, who will draw a walk. The Mariners have walked 6 times to the point in this ball game. That's mostly why Shane McClanahan's pitch count was so high. But unfortunately, nothing will come of it as Cesar Hernandez will fly out to right, and that'll end the 6th. Brusar Graterol will come in bottom 6 now for Seattle, so 5 innings for Chris Flexen. His day is done. The former Dodger Graterol will begin the inning by getting Josh Lau to ground out to short, and that'll bring up Yandy Diaz, the all-star third baseman this season, who hits this one to right field. But Teoscar Hernandez is there, and the Rays' offense has been ice cold today. How about Brandon Lau? He strikes out on the low sinker. They say he went around, and the Rays are still scoreless through 6. John Armstrong will then come in relief for Tampa Bay in the 8th at the 2.57 ERA through his 31 appearances, and he will begin against Julio Rodriguez. 1-0 pitch to Julio, and he's going to hit this one well into the right center gap, and this is trouble. Rodriguez has some wheels, and he's going to turn second, try to go to third, and he is going to be safe ahead of the throw. Julio Rodriguez with a leadoff triple, his 8th of the season. So he's only 90 feet away. The infield is playing in, but the speed of Rodriguez doesn't matter. Teoscar Hernandez hits it over to short, but they go over to first, and the Mariners will get a second run of the ball game. So now with a 2-0 lead and 1 away, A.J. Pollock doesn't want to be done with the offense this inning. He singles into right, and that'll bring up Sam Haggerty, who will also single into right. Gets by the diving glove of Joey Votto, and now there's 2 on, 1 out for the Mariners, a chance to extend this lead. Cal Raleigh gets a nice pitch to do it on, but he just pops it up into the shallow part of the outfield, and that'll be the second out of the inning. Cesar Hernandez up next, hitless today. He's going to ground this one up the middle, but Lau is able to get to it. And the Mariners will keep a 2-0 lead going to the bottom of the 8th, where Paul Sewald will come in relief, making his 50th appearance of the season, tasked with holding the 8th. His first batter is Isaac Paredes. He pops this one up into left field. Crawford will range back. He will make the grab, out number 1. Mejia up next. He gets plunked. Slider runs inside and hits him on the thigh, so he'll take first base. And that'll bring in Randy Rosarena, who will ground it over to Moore. Go to second, go to first, but they can't get the double play. So a fielder's choice will be there as Rosarena beats it out at first, but it doesn't matter because Josh Lau will swing and miss on the slider. So we'll go top 9 now, where Ryan Thompson will come in relief for the Tampa Bay Rays. He's tasked with just keeping this a 2-run ball game. He'll start off the inning against Dylan Moore and swing and miss on a sinker. Moore 0 for 4 day. That's a nice pitch by Thompson. Next batter, J.P. Crawford up the middle. He gets through a single for our shortstop for the heart of our lineup. Ty France up next. First pitch swinging, gets a nice sinker to hit, but he flares it out to right easily. Out there for Gamble, and that'll be out number 2. How about Julio? Swing and miss on the inside sinker. Down go the Mariners. So let's take a 2-run lead into the 9th, and they'll turn it over to Andres Munoz, who's looking for his 43rd save of the season. He's in the top 5 in the American League in that category. He'll begin against Yandy Diaz, who'll hit this one up the middle, and it'll get through. So just like that, the first runner is on, and the tying man is at the plate. Brandon Lau, next batter, actually next pitch. He'll fly this one out into left. That'll be caught by Haggerty. So it'll be 1 down for Joey Votto, the 2010 NL MVP. Full count pitch. He rips it over to Cesar, who throws it to Crawford, who throws it to France. A double play, and that'll be how this one will end. The Seattle Mariners shut out the Tampa Bay Rays as they win by a final score of 2-0. A good win here for Seattle. A good bounce back start to this series. It's a 4-game trip in Tampa Bay. And after dropping 2 of 3 in Cincy, it's a good start for them. But a big blow to the Rays, who could use every win they can. Your player of the game will go to Chris Flexen, who pitched 5 shutout innings for us. As all-around good baseball. Offense was a little cold, but they did a very good job at drawing those walks. And that's what helped get McClanahan out of the game. We also win Game 2 6-3. J-Rod went 2 for 4 with a triple and another double and an RBI. And then in Game 3 we win 6-5. So we win the first 3 of the series. Big blows to the Rays' playoff chances. George Kirby, though, did not have a good game. 4 earned runs in about 5 innings. He's continuing to struggle down the stretch. We do clinch a playoff spot with that win. So the Mariners are officially going to the postseason for the first time since last year. We dropped the 4th game, though, 2-0. We get shut out against the Rays as Eflin went 7 innings and got the dub for Tampa Bay. Next episode, we'll return home and we'll host both LA teams, the Angels and the Dodgers, for a 3-game set. So that Dodgers one could be a World Series preview. We'll also look to clinch the division next episode for the first time since 2001. So hope you guys are ready for that one. Hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, make sure you drop a like and you subscribe down below. This is Mr. Rob, and I'll see you in the next one.